So we have this judge in Wisconsin who's obstructing law enforcement. And we're going to get into this in some detail. And the Democrat Party and their media, really one and the same, they say that this is another example of Trump and the team way out of control. Going after a judge like this, it's very unusual. No, what the judge did is very unusual. That's why you go after the judge. Judges aren't above the law either, ladies and gentlemen. We know that. The Democrat Party is everything I said in my last book. The Democrat Party hates America. They were for slavery. They were for segregation. They were for eugenics. They were for literacy tests. All this stuff. They just hate the country. You have to have a certain mindset. I don't care that they say they love the country. They hate the country. They hate the voters when the voters don't do what they want them to do. They hate our laws. Unless, of course, they're their laws. This is a very diabolical and evil party, the Democrat Party. I'm not saying all the Democrat members out there who work for a living. No, I'm talking about the people who run the damn thing. Or influence, or have some control over it. They're diabolical. They hate the country. How can you love the country when you have open borders? How can you love the country when fentanyl's pouring in on those open borders and drug traffickers, Venezuelan gangs that we never even heard of before, MS-13, terrorists, fentanyl, pouring over the border? Oh, yeah, they had no problem with it. They had a problem with it. They should have said something to their man, Biden, but they didn't. They're not for women's rights anymore. They oppose women. They hate women. You can't even define a woman. The Civil Rights Act, the amendments to it to protect women's sports, they've eviscerated it. Trump's trying to bring it back so that provision survives. They hate motherhood. They hate the nuclear family. They're all gung-ho on abortion. It's a weird group of people. Very weird. And, of course, here you have a judge caught red-handed committing a crime. Committing a crime. She lets this... You know what? I'll let Pam Bondi explain what took place here, but you're going to be able to watch all weekend because the Sunday shows are horrendous if you want to punish yourself. Except mine, of course, which is great. Did I mention that? 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. I'm sure you've set your DVRs by now. And by the way, killer shows. Killer. You know who the biggest fan of my show is, Mr. Producer, other than my wife? The president. I encourage you to watch it. And let me tell you something. Saturday's show is brutal. Sunday's show is brutal. You're going to want to watch both. Seriously. Just DVR it if you're not sure you can watch it. But in any event, here's Pam Bondi explaining in part what took place. I mean, we've got this judge in New Mexico. We've got this judge in Wisconsin. It's incredible. These judges, you know, if many of you read Men in Black, my book on the judiciary, my first book ever, and I say these people are flesh and blood. There's some stellar judges, there's some average judges, and there's some real sick bastards who are judges. Just like human society. They're no better. Just because they're lawyers in black robes means nothing. Nothing. Here's Pam Bondi, cut 4 on Fox News today. Go.
So what charges will Cano and his wife face, if any?
Now, this is the judge and his wife in New Mexico that were harboring a Venezuelan gangbanger terrorist in their home. In their home. Go ahead.
Cano, soon to be former Judge Cano, got his charges were just unsealed. He's charged with obstruction. He admitted post Miranda. He took one of the TDA members' cell phones himself, took it, beat it with a hammer, destroyed it, and then walked the pieces.
Wait a minute, that sounds like Hillary Clinton. He must have learned that from her. Go ahead.
to dispose of it to protect him. The wife also is charged with destroying evidence. Sandra, not only that, this TDA member, and he had on a necklace that said kill, something about death. He had tattoos all over him. He also had on his cell phone pictures of 2 decapitated victims. Victims. Decapitated, gruesome
Somebody
photos.
tell Jamie Raskin. Somebody tell Ayach. Somebody tell Bernie Sanders. Somebody tell the Democrats, the TV Democrats. That's what I'll call them from now on. The cable TV Democrats. Somebody tell the cable TV Democrats. They'll love this guy. He decapitated at least 2 people. Wow. Cool, right? Go ahead.
Sending them out, and whoever he was sending them to was sending back saying, hey, you need to be careful. You shouldn't be sending these. You shouldn't be texting these photos out. Not only that, these 2, the judge and his wife, gave him assault rifles that belonged to their daughter. That's what they're charged with. In the criminal report affidavit, he goes to a shooting range with these assault rifles, with a suppressor, with other known TDA members, and they're shooting. This is the last person that we want in our country, nor will we ever tolerate a judge or anyone else harboring them.
Good. You know, if the Democrats have their way, that's Supreme Court material, that guy. Cut 5, go.
Yeah, and to set the stage for you and Sandra, this was truly horrific. This guy was in court being prosecuted by a state prosecutor for domestic violence battery. He had beat up 2 people, a guy and a girl, hit the guy 30 times, knocked him to the ground, choked him, beat up a woman so badly they both had to go to the hospital. And, John, you know, it's so rare for victims to want to cooperate. They wanted to cooperate. They were sitting in the courtroom with the state prosecutor. The judge learns that ICE was outside to get the guy because he had been deported in 2013, came back in our country, commits these crimes, charged with committing these crimes, victims in court. Judge finds out. She goes out in the hallway, screams at the immigration officers. She's furious, visibly shaken, upset, sends them off to talk to the chief judge. She comes back in the courtroom. You're not going to believe this. Takes the defendant and the defense attorney back in her chambers, takes them out a private exit and tells them to leave. While a state prosecutor and victims of domestic violence are sitting in the courtroom.
Mm-hmm. And now this guy's a cause celeb for the Democrats. So understand, now this judge is a cause celeb. Garcia, an MS-13 white beater, he's a cause celeb for the Democrats. This is a sick group of people who had to be leaders of the Democrat Party. Very sick. Cut 6, go.
When you see these judges trying to obstruct your efforts to make this country safer, what is your message to them?
We are going to prosecute you, and we are prosecuting you. I found out about this the day it happened. We could not believe, actually, that a judge really did that. We looked into the facts in great depth. That's her picture up on the screen, Hannah Dugan, who is now in custody. You cannot obstruct a criminal case, and really, shame on her. It was a domestic violence case of all cases, and she's protecting a criminal defendant over victims of crime.
Mm-hmm. Amen to that. Which makes her Supreme Court material, like I said, Mr. Producer, for the Democrats. She fit in well. She'd fit in well with the justice who couldn't define women. Perfect.